Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? This is Mudhuta, Machuki E Nahaga Duduk El, and this is my second webcast. I tried to improve the audio a little bit from last time, so hopefully it's a lot clearer now. I got this preamp, I got this Behringer USB preamp that I'm still trying to figure out the kinks and everything, but I got a call, from the nation today about a brother who wanted me to check this video out that you see on your screen right here about, some disgruntled former Nuwaubians. I remember Pops always said, this ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And here's one brother, who was speaking his heart about how he was hurt by the organization, United Nuwaubian Moors, and that he's basically trashing the organization, that no organization is perfect. I completely understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people gonna talk negatively about the organization, some people gonna talk positively about an organization. I guess I gotta update my virus definitions. But, just like some people talked about Martin Luther King. They talked about, some people did talk bad about him during his time and after, he passed away. And all the things that he did. They said he cheated on his wife. But that was the FBI. But what I'm saying is, somebody's always got something bad to say about their Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It wasn't just Malcolm who talked about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There was multiple people within the Nation of Islam that talked negatively about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, does that mean that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't help millions of black people? Absolutely not. And were there some people who sold bean pies and sold other merchandise for newspapers, you know what I'm saying, that didn't get the money, or maybe some of them didn't get paid at all? It's like that sometimes. There's some jobs where people don't get paid at all. There's Mexican immigrants who come to America, then they get jobs under the table because they come in illegally and they don't get paid at all. So that's something that you're not just gonna blame the United Nuwaubian Nations for. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to play this video and kind of comment on it, because I feel like he said he was in the organization for 20 years, and I have no reason, to doubt that. You know what I'm saying? And the brother is speaking with some fire. So I got to respect that too. And he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? But everybody gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gets ripped off. I remember I got ripped off in L.A. One of my rims broke down on my Beamer, and I called somebody to do a mobile. He was a mobile mechanic, so I had him come by and fix my car. I gave this fool $900. I never seen him again, and he was a brother. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody gets hurt. Everybody gets done wrong. But I don't feel a need to trash this brother from L.A., which I do know his name and all that. But I just moved on, man. I just moved on. I stayed positive. I got my money, got my, degree or whatever, and got my job. And I kept it pushing, man. I just kept it pushing, man. There's a lot of negative stuff that happened, man. Like me and my pops. Me and my pops didn't get along to the day that he died, man. The last time I talked to my dad, he talked shit to me, talking about I was like a little bitch because of some situation. I'm like, wow, this is my father talking to me like this? So you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of messed up stuff out. You got to go through life, man. But Dr. Malachi Zahir was trying to give us the teachings that a lot of other organizations couldn't give because they didn't have the talent and the knowledge to give it. And second of all, we're growing up with I grew up with both parents, so I was lucky. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of brothers and sisters ain't growing up with both parents. They're growing up with one parent, and that's usually the mother. You know what I'm saying? But a mother can't raise a man. She don't know how to teach a man. So let's just play this video.
Shit if you want to. I refuse to believe in that man from the planet Risk. I refuse to believe in that man called Dr. York, the disco singer. I refuse to believe in that man called Iman Issa. I refuse to believe in that man called Reverend Dr. Melakazi York. I refuse to believe in that man called Pa Nabab Yanun. Because all of them motherfuckers are the same person.
Well, of course they're the same person. He just went by different names with different schools of thought. But let's keep going.
I refuse to believe in an organization called the Nubian Islamic Hebrews. I refuse to believe in that organization called the Holy Tabernacle of Ministries. I refuse to believe in an organization called the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors.
So he gonna refuse to believe in a whole nation because of one man. Now he did go through some situations where he wasn't treated, justly, and I hear the situations, and I hear him. I'm like, hey man, they shouldn't have done that to you. If the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors did that, I would say if any organization did, if you work somewhere and they didn't pay you, leave. No one got a gun to your head forcing you to be a Nuwaubian. It's all free will. So sometimes we put ourselves through situations that we don't need to put ourselves through. Like if I knew about this back then, I know I would have been part of it. And if they would have treated me like that, I would have left. I would have straight up said, nope, this ain't for me. I would have left. Though a lot of the knowledge is good, I can't live like that. I need my money. I got to pay my bills. I got a family to raise, so I can't be out here working for free. So let's keep going.
Because all of those organizations are the same.
Which they're not.
Breaking the spell of Dr. Melakazi York. If you never heard of him, if you never heard of the organizations that I've just named, I applaud you. I congratulate you. Because if you did, you would know. You would be in front of this camera, mentally fucked up in the head, just like I am. I believed in a man that said he came from another fucking planet and that he has 76 trillion years of knowledge.
Well, 76 trillion years is that's a long time, ain't it? That's a long time. I guess I really can't say nothing about that. But what did he say before that? Let me go back. I don't want to get misconstrued.
Of knowledge.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back before that.
Said he came from another fucking planet.
Is that settled? Is it settled that human beings are from Earth? There's scientists. A lot of scientists will tell you that life started on Mars. It's called panspermia. So it's not just Dr. Malachi York saying that. You don't know where he came from, because I don't know what type of knowledge you've done and intensive research you've done to figure out where human beings are from. Now, the white man might have told you that, no, we're just, it's just planet Earth and that's it. But even they know now, and they trying to look for alien signals out in the universe. So it's not really fair to attack one man because he said something that you find outrageous without really doing the knowledge on it. But I understand the pain and the hurt that the brother's going through, so let's keep going.
And that he has 76 trillion years of knowledge. That he came down to this planet by way of a mothership called Nibiru. That he is the 24th elder of the 24 elders. I believed in that. And the fuck.
Well, Nuwaubians aren't supposed to believe. I think that's one of the golden rules of breaking the spell of the beast. Like, you're trying to break the spell of the Dr. Malachi Z. York, but you still may be under the spell of the beast who enslaved our people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too sure where all this frustration is coming from, but we're going to hear it later on in the video. And I know another obsessed, I'm not even saying this brother is hating. He just got a lot of stuff he's trying to get off his chest, which is respectable. But there's another brother named Chuck Morgan that's obsessed with hating Dr. Malachi Z. It's almost sickening. He has like 300 videos, and I may do another live show about that, about Nuwaubu. All this man wakes up in the morning, and with every breath in his body takes all the time out of his life to talk about Nuwaubu and Dr. Malachi Z. Or it's beyond obsessive. It's beyond obsessive. But let's keep going here.
The part about it is, part of the reason why I believed in it is because I was a misfit. I couldn't find me in Christianity.
Neither could I.
I couldn't find me in Islam. I couldn't find me in this westernized civilization. I looked for me everywhere. I couldn't find myself. Until I came across an organization that I thought was right. That I thought had all the fucking answers. And I'm embarrassed to admit that I fell for the biggest scam and con that I ever seen in history. How can a man author over 1,000 and something more books but never wrote them? The system.
Right. He would need a lot more proof to convince me of what he's saying right now. But from what I heard, because I wasn't on the land, this brother was on the land. From what I heard, Dr. Malachi Z. York dictated the books. He would sit in the room, one of the sisters would come in the room, and he would dictate the book, and she would write what he's dictating because he had so much in his mind that he had to say that he would write it, and these sisters were very talented at recording everything that he was saying. That's what I heard. But to say that he didn't write one of the books or any of the books, that's ridiculous. When he was Imam Isa, the stuff that was coming out of his mouth, you don't think he was capable of writing the book? With all the knowledge that was coming out of his mouth? So things are starting to get a little blurry now. Like me, I got no doubt that he wrote those books. Now, he might not have written Path to Rock, even though I heard a video saying that he did write Path to Rock, but you could tell that the author and the tone and the language that they use is totally different. So I can't confirm that he wrote those books. But all the Sacred Order books, the HTM books, it's very hard to convince me he didn't write those books when he knew the book like the back of his hand. That puzzles me. That's a strong accusation, but with no proof.
This is in the background work, writing the books. How can a man say that he came up with the Nuwaubic language when the children of the organization came up with that? How can a man say that he gave us the land called Tamaray when the brothers were banging hammers and nails and together in order to build it?
I don't think anybody believes that Dr. Malachi Z. York himself built all of Tamaray. See, that's ridiculous, because we still work with a couple brothers that did stuff on Tamaray. I don't know. I've never spoken to one Nuwaubian who believed that when you're not supposed to believe anyway. So that this is part of the problem, that one man built all these pyramids, temples, housing. Of course not. Of course not, man. Come on, man. Come on, brother. Nobody believes that. No, even if Dr. York said it, nobody would believe that. And I've heard Dr. York give credit. You know, we had brothers come out there, contractors. We made sure they were Moors. I just can't confirm nothing that he's saying right now. Actually, I can't confirm the opposite from what I've heard people say and what I've heard Dr. Malachi Z. York say. So nobody believes that one man built all of that by himself in such a short period of time too. And this kind of goes as a segue into another subject that I've had talks with, brothers that I'm cool with, or Nuwaubians, that, people are telling stories that like Pops walked through walls and he walked on water. Like, I can't confirm none of that stuff, so I definitely don't believe it. And it's all speculation and it's tales that people are telling. That type of stuff, I stay away from, because that type of stuff will mess up your head, right? Like, I look at the master teacher as my master teacher, as the supreme grand master, the man with the most knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not into all the fairy tales and stuff like one man built the whole land by himself. That's I haven't spoken to one Nuwaubian that would believe that. So let's keep going here.
You see, the biggest problem is that man ain't shit when it comes to the people that built this organization. You see, y'all can come with that bullshit with me. And guess what? I'm going to spit it out because I know better. You could talk about how Dr. Malachi Z. York is innocent and all he did was give and help people. You could do all of that shit to me. But I'm going to kick that shit out because I know the truth. I spent close to 20 years in this organization. I remember not being able to fucking afford to buy myself a jacket. And when I was able to do it, niggas looked at me like I was crazy when I came to the bookstore with a new jacket on. Motherfuckers was like, nigga, you better make sure you have your turn-in. Oh. Y'all don't want to talk about that, right? Y'all don't want to talk about the turn-in that we had. Mine was $150 weekly that we had to give to fucking Tamaray, which was Dr. Malachi Z. York in Edenton, Georgia. Y'all don't want to talk about that shit, right? Y'all don't want to talk about how the brothers and sisters weren't getting paid in the bookstore. I was one of them. Didn't get paid being in the bookstore, selling those fucking books. But yet and still, we had to fucking pay the light bill for the bookstore, the water bill for the bookstore, the rent for the bookstore.
Well, yeah, if you weren't getting paid, I'd have a big problem not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? I would have a huge problem if I worked and the agreement was I was to get paid so I could pay my light bill and I didn't get paid. I'm gone. I'm gone. I got to get paid. You have to get paid unless you're in a situation where it don't cost you nothing to live. You know what I'm saying? Which is rare in America. So, yeah, I feel your pain and your frustration about that, man. There's no doubt. If you didn't get paid, there's a problem. Like me, I would have dropped it. But that's me, though. That's my decision. Dr. Malachi Z. York, I start the bookstore, you supply the books, I sell the books, I give you your cut, and I keep my profits. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do business. Not that I do all the work, you get all the money, and I don't get nothing. That's not the agreement that we had. So if Dr. Malachi Z. York convinced you of that, Now, if he straight up said that you're not gonna get paid, then you ain't got nothing to complain about. But if you have an agreement, both parties came in and agreed to these stipulations, rules, and how this business is gonna be regulated, you get paid, you walk away from that. I'm walking away from that. I don't care what organization it is. I'm walking away from that because that's not what we agreed upon. So, I mean, I could say that if you kept going with that and that's not what you agreed to, then that might have been a foolish mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm walking away. I'm walking away like, well, good luck with your bookstore and everything, but I can't be part of it because, you know, I got mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? You know, my mama might need some money next week, and I got to have some money for her. So, unfortunately, it's not going to work out. But, you know, I'll still come to the land and stuff if I'm welcome. Or if not, if I can't come to the land no more, that's fine too. But I'll find my way. All right, so let's keep going.
We had to invest our time and money into an organization that we built and got nothing out of it. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about how we had to pay for our own books, even though we were the ones that paid for the books. We paid for product. Y'all don't want to talk about that. So y'all fail to mention that shit. Y'all fail to mention when niggas was threatened to get kicked out of bookstores and shit. Y'all fail to mention that. Y'all fail to mention the bootleg movies and CDs and shit like that we were fucking selling. And how some brothers that was in the organization after fucking class, motherfuckers would go to the strip club.
I mean, Nuwaubians aren't perfect. No one said every Nuwaubian is perfect. There's going to be some Nuwaubians, just like there's going to be some Americans that go to strip clubs. Just like some Christians, you know, go to church on Sunday, go to strip club right after the church. I've seen that happen. I've seen the Reverend bang 2 or 3 chicks out in L.A. I mean, this ain't nothing new. You can't blame Nuwaubians for that. They you know, these are the type of Nuwaubians that they were just citizens, or they were just hanging around, calling themselves Nuwaubians. They weren't really living it. And I'm not including this brother. I'm talking about the people he's talking about. You know, the Nuwaubians going to the strip clubs. Dr. Malachi Z got no control over that. The United Nuwaubian Nations has no control of that. If they want to go to the strip club, they go. It's called free will, brother. If they want to go to the strip club, they go. I mean, who do you hold responsible for that? That's ridiculous. I'm pretty sure in the Nation of Islam, there's brothers who've gone to the strip club and still do. You know what I'm saying? So he's just bringing up normal stuff. This is normal stuff. Why do you think strip clubs are in business? Because there's some people who on the down low want to pretend like they holy and all that, and at the end of the day they do carnal things of the flesh, to please the flesh. So, I mean, you can't really blame one organization for that. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense to me. So let's keep going.
And throw their money at strippers. Now, you may say, how the fuck does this fall in line with Dr. Malachi Z. York?
Right.
It has a lot to do with it because he's the man from Planet Risk. And he sees all and hears all. So if he...
I've never heard Dr. Malachi Z. York say he sees all and hears all. I've never heard him say that, but I wasn't on the land. I've never heard anybody else say that he said that. Like he's El Kaluum, right? Like Dr. Malachi Z. York is El Kaluum. Dr. Malachi Z. York is not even close to El Kaluum. No living thing is. He's not even close to Anu. You know what I'm saying? So, and somebody say, oh, well, Anu, this and this and that. Well, Anu's mentioned in the Bible. You know, you are from beneath and I am from above. If you look in the Strong's dictionary, in the Greek portion, you'll find that above was translated from Anu. So Dr. Malachi Z. York's not making this stuff up. It's verifiable. and then Numa Elish and the Atra Hasis. It's verifiable, so you can't really say, you know, oh, I believe this and I believe that when it's verifiable in other books. And he was just going back and doing the research and giving it to us, giving it to the people. You know what I'm saying? So is what he's saying that what Dr. Malachi Z. York taught is false? All of it's false? That's the main question I'm trying to get to. Because I'm not looking for another man to take care of me. I never have, never will. That ain't my thing. I'll die first before another man has to take care of me and I'm healthy. I can get up and I can do my work and put in the hard work and get my money from my hard work. You know, what does it say? And it says, well, every worker is worthy of his wages. So that's like a legal maxim. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way in God's green earth I would work for no money. From the age of like 12 and up, got to get the cash. You got to get the dough. Okay, so let's keep going here.
He does see all and hear all, then that means that he knows what's going on in all the bookstores.
That's not true either.
And never once did we get a call stating to stop doing what we're doing.
Well, you should have stopped doing what you're doing. If you're not getting paid, then go get a job or go start your own company. I would have stopped. There's no way I'm working for free. Not going to happen.
Because that man was interested in the fucking money. That's all he was interested in. And we had sincere people that was in this organization, such as myself, that wanted to save my soul just as well as others. But we were always chastised. Always threatened to be kicked out of the fucking bookstore. And if you're kicked out of the bookstore, you can't be one of the 144,000 that Dr. York is going to appoint and send up to Nibiru. And all the rest of the people on the earth are going to go to hell and burn in hell. The great balls of fire. You remember that? That they're going to drop down to destroy the fucking planet. You see, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, that was
it's all bullshit.
If you heard, somebody told them that is some bullshit, yeah.
And between May 2003 and 2030, the shams was going to come down. What about that shit? What about this man having 76 trillion years of knowledge and information? Him being able to teleport, levitate, and all the rest of this shit.
I mean, there are people who have levitated. I mean, it's not like he's making it up. There's people in the Hindu religion, the reports, legitimate reports have gone up with people levitating. The Hindus also believe that the creation of time goes back, I think, 60-something trillion years ago. So it's you know, it's not far-fetched. These numbers are not that far-fetched. Now, scientists say that the universe is only 13 billion years old. You know, I'm not in agreement with that. You know what I'm saying? If he says he has 76 trillion years of knowledge, it's a stretch. It's a stretch. But who have more knowledge than Dr. Malachi Z. York? I think that's the question to pose. Not the specific number, but who is the most high amongst us as human beings? Who's the most high? You know, now in every large corporation, there's disgruntled employees, and even in small corporations. If you watch, what is it, NBC? Undercover Boss, the CNBC. Shark Tank, people leave disgruntled all the time, man. That's why if you're disgruntled, I've been disgruntled on some jobs, fired for political reasons. I just turn around and say, okay, cool. You fired me from this job. Next job I'm going to earn more money than my last job. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality you need to have. And I'm not gonna sit up here and scream 10 years ago about how somebody did me wrong. A lot of people done me wrong. I just keep it moving, man. I just keep it moving. Like no matter what, no matter how hurt I am, you know, how frustrated I am, I know that me sitting there being frustrated and hurt ain't gonna produce nothing. So sometimes, like Tupac said, you just gotta carry on. You just gotta carry on, man. You gotta carry on. That's simply what it is. Get your mind ready to carry on. But I've never been in a situation like this brother was on the land and heard so much of Dr. Malachi Z. York speaking. And there were some roughnecks I heard on the land. People, well, there were some people who did some unfavorable things. But just like any nation of people, you have people doing unfavorable things to other citizens. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're in the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors doesn't make you some perfect being. Far from it. You know, if you live by the laws of the land and I guess some of the spiritual laws, you should be okay. But even that will not make you a perfect being until you reach a certain level. And everybody does not reach that level. Some people, you know, act like animals. Still, even Nuwaubians. You know what I'm saying? So it's complicated, man. It's complicated to say the least. But every nation of people got problems. Got problems. There's no perfect nation. None that I've seen yet, or none that's been reported, unless you're like a Buddha monk living in the Himalayas or something, or the Qumran, the folks who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls. So I don't know, man.
And all these fucking magical powers, but he can't break himself out of fucking jail. What about the Anunnaki?
I never heard of these magical powers, but again, I never heard Dr. York say he had magical powers. I did in the Ratib, he did say he levitated, which is not, like I said, you levitate when you're on a certain spiritual level. You can do these things. I mean, you can do these things, but you have to get to a certain level. It's not impossible. That's what the white man told you. That's what he told you. And that's what it sounds like he's speaking from that point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's impossible. You know, how could someone come in from a different planet? But how many alien reportings or UFO reportings are made each year? And some of it is caught on videotape. So it's not absurd what Dr. York is saying. That's not what it is. What it is someone who's disgruntled with the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors. Now, everybody got the right to speak their opinion, and so I got the right to speak my opinion too, that no organization is perfect. You won't find it. You won't find it. You won't find it. And things are done to you because you allow them to happen. As hard as that it is to swallow, I had to find that out the hard way. I'm 38 now. You know, when I was in my 20s, a lot of stuff happened. You know, I had a lot of fun, but a lot of stuff happened too because I was young and dumb, and I allowed these things to happen. Especially relationships with women. You know, broke me down, man. Got me to the point where I'm not even trusting women. You know, even though I want the love, you know, I would kind of reject the love from women and just want to do my thing with them because, you know, I didn't want to be hurt again. You know. So I get it, man. I've been there. I've been there. Maybe in a different capacity, but I've been there. So let's keep going.
How we used to pray to Enlil and Inky and Anu. And then turn around, the story goes, we were fucking praying to the Anunnakis to eat us. That the Holy Bible is a cookbook. What about that shit?
That I don't agree with. I don't agree. I heard a tape from Dr. Malachi Z. York saying that, right, that the Anunnaki, like Anu is a flesh-eating, but I'm like, in my opinion, I'm like, well, how come you didn't put that in the books that you wrote when you were free? How come you didn't say that the Anunnaki were flesh-eating reptilians? And also, it's not in the holy tablets either. You know, where things are supposed to be revealed to us in the holy tablets. It was not in the holy tablets, and it wasn't, as far as I know, it's not in any of the Sumerian tablets either. You know, that the Sumerians did not say that Anu was a flesh-eating cannibal, basically. So, well, he mentioned it, but that's not who Anu is, as far as my research goes. To say that he's a flesh-eating reptilian, you know, who would pray to a flesh-eating reptilian? That's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm definitely not in agreement with Dr. York on that, and I'll say that publicly. I know the brothers in New York, the United Nuwaubian Nation, not Moors, but the United Nuwaubian Nation, they believe that too. That Anu is a flesh-eating cannibal. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I think if that were true, there would be no human beings on this planet. There would be no human beings on the planet. We'd all be eaten. You know what I'm saying? We'd all be eaten to death. You know what I'm saying? If we survived the dinosaurs who were eating everything, especially the meat eaters, the carnivores, right? There's no way that I can even infer that's true. You know? So I don't agree with everything Dr. York said. I don't. Most of it, about 95% of it, I do agree with. Especially stuff about Islam, Christianity, Judaism. I agree with everything he said there. You know what I'm saying? But the flesh eating, cannibal that Anu, they're alleging he is. Nah, I don't. That's not true. That's not true.
Y'all fail to mention that shit when you talk about how Malachi Z. York is innocent and all he did was do good for people. Y'all fail to mention that shit. Y'all fail to mention where he gives descriptions of black devils and shit like that. You know how many motherfucking people I disowned, family members and all the rest of that shit, because they had characteristics or they had a physical appearance of a black devil? Remember?
See, that's where you're getting too deep with it, right? I'm like, yeah, I've read the book. I got the book right here. You know, Are There Black Devils? But when I read the book, I didn't get the sense that, you know, somebody fit an attribute of a black devil, and if they're part of my family or whatever, if they're in my circle, that I need to just get rid of them. I think the key is to recognize a black devil and keep an eye on him, make a plan for him. Like if things start to go south, he starts to sabotage the mission. You know, you got a plan to what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think just because they got the description of a black devil, you just get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these people can be reformed. You know, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did. He reformed. Malcolm was a black devil. He reformed Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? So the idea is not to, you know, get rid of whoever you think or know is a black devil, is to keep an eye on them. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
When he talked about the slope head and how that's a reptilian, or eczema, how that's a reptilian. So everybody had eczema, slope head, or had certain fucking disagreeable characteristics, they were black devils. Or if you...
No. Everybody has... If you read Dr. Malachi Z. York, he says everybody got agreeable and disagreeable in them. I got it, you got it, everybody on the planet got it. It's when the degree of disagreeableness goes so far off to the right that you become a devil, you may become a murderer, a terrorist, something like that. Everybody has a degree of disagreeableness in them, right? So this is, if you got disagree, oh, no, you're a devil. No, that's jumping off the far end. You know what I'm saying? So
you disagreed with something that he said you were a black devil. This organization, this man is not worthy to stand in line with the greats.
I mean, you're not even, no one can make that call. You're not worthy to stand in line with the greats. No one can make that call. Only the greats can make that call. And sometimes they can't even make that call. But I get the brother's hurt. He's spazzing out, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully, hey, if it's not the Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, hopefully it's an organization that he can gravitate to, that he feels good about. Maybe Christianity. Christianity has a way of making people feel good, even though they're not in the know. So this brother's in the know because he was there for 20-some years. Now it sounds like he's trying to reject everything that he knows instead of taking advantage of everything that he knows. Life is all about perspective and how you look at it. There's other brothers who have gone off and taken Dr. Malachi Z. York's teachings and joined the Moorish Science Temple, became a head sheikh. You know what I'm saying? Some of them started Christianity practices. You know what I'm saying? And some other brothers have done other things with the teachings. They deserted the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, which is unfortunate, but they took Dr. Malachi Z. York and the Nuwaubu and formed other organizations based on Nuwaubu. So it's okay, man. It's okay.
My mind is fucked up. It truly is. My pockets are dry. All of the fucking money has been sucked out of my fucking pockets. I remember when my motherfucking mom's she hurt her back. She was on bed leave for years. And she needed prescriptions, but her prescription drug. But in turn, I said, you know what, fuck that. Fatima, which was Dr. Malachi Z. York's mother, was sick and she needed her drugs, and I would send her money monthly, weekly, $50.
What's wrong with that?
When Pops got locked up, the Blue Lodge said, yo, we need money for the lawyers, this and that, and I was sending $100 then.
Yeah, the whole lawyer situation was fraudulent. It was fraudulent, man. Especially with Victoria Broussard. She talking about, I think was it 2016? Maybe the beginning of 2016, maybe late 2016, asking for money because of an ECOWAS case, I think that was held in Nigeria. And she asking for money, and the case has already been decided on. They lost. They lost. The judge, they couldn't convince the judge that Dr. Malachi Z. York was a diplomat. They said also for the charge that Dr. Malachi Z. York got hit with, which is the Mann Act, that's not in the capacity of a diplomat anyway, so it would not provide him protections anyway, and that his diplomatic ID was fraudulent. And they couldn't, the Liberian government had nothing on the registration of Dr. Malachi Z. York being a diplomat. They really thought that fraud was going to work in court, like they weren't going to do the research, man. Come on, man. You're dealing with higher powers here who have a lot of reach. You're talking about a government. They tried to defraud a government in a case. You know what I'm saying? In the ECOWAS case, That's like the main court for like all of Western Africa. So any crime, any like federal type crime that goes across national borders goes to this ECOWAS case. And they really thought they was going to pull a fraud in that case. That's how stupid these people are. And yes, I'm saying stupid. Mario and Victoria, stupid people. Like, people ain't going to, it's the information age, man. Of course we're going to find out that you're pulling a fraud. And I'm sorry that this brother even gave money to them. Like, thousands of other people got scammed into giving money to Victoria Broussard. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame, man.
I come up with my own fucking book. I write my own fucking book and shit. I have a website. I dedicate a fucking webpage exclusively to Dr. Malachi York, and link up all his fucking websites to my fucking webpage that I dedicated to him.
Mm-hmm.
And don't give me that bullshit about how my bookstore was different from everybody else's. That's bullshit. I've been in 2 bookstores. The second bookstore I was in, a fucking Nuwaubian robbed our bookstore.
Wow, man.
That shit was ridiculous.
Can't make that up, yeah.
The cops came and shit, and we trying to explain to the cops how this ain't insurance fraud. Because the cops are saying, hold on, let me get this right. This guy you know, because they had him on videotape, on camera. This guy you know? And then they're saying, well, what do you do? They pointing at me. I'm like, yo, I work at the bookstore. And they're trying to piece together, how in the fuck is it that I work here but I don't get paid? See, this was a cult. And this was a way to scam niggas.
I mean, everything's a cult. Christianity's a cult. Islam's a cult. It's a very large cult. But they're all cults. You just have to choose which one you're going to join, if you're going to join any at all. So again, we all have free will. If I didn't think the organization provided information to improve my life, get me to find out who I am, then I wouldn't join. You know, I would still keep searching. You know, but you know, everybody's not gonna. Doc said it ain't for everybody. You know, he said this stuff ain't for everybody, man. So, yeah, unfortunately, man, I feel the brother, man. I feel him, man. You know, it's all good. I feel him. But still, you're speaking from a Western mindset, and we're all Western because I was born in California, in Los Angeles. So we all have a Western mindset. That could the knowledge that you have of the Western world can be used to your advantage. I mean, my only thing is the brother's complaining, and it sounds like some of the stuff that he went through was caused upon him, and he caused it himself by making bad decisions. Now, the only problem I have with the whole video is not what he's saying, it's what he's not saying. As far as, okay, if it's not the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, what do you suggest? Because getting up here and, you know, and ranting and raving, we all have the right to do that with the technology now. But where do we turn our souls to? Where do we turn our attention to? That's the question I think that needs to get answered here. Where do we turn to, brother? If it's not the Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, it's not the Nation of Islam, it's not Christianity with T.D. Jakes or something, where do we turn to? This is what we have to ponder here. And, you know, some people left comments like, oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that, and blah, blah, blah. That's cool. For the people who left those comments, where do we turn to? You know, I was hearing another video, and somebody hoped that Dr. Malachi York gets raped in jail. I'm like, damn, brother. Really? And he said, oh yeah, join me, Team Common Sense. Team Common Sense. is better than the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, you got to give me a break, man. Team, TEAM, common sense. I said, you have to be out your mind, man. You have more knowledge than Dr. Malachi Z. York? That's ridiculous. You know, there's a lot of people saying stuff because you can with the internet. But at the same time, you can be a fool. You can have the right to act like a fool in front of the whole world, and so the whole world can see it. Now, I'm not, this brother, he's not acting a fool. He went through something. But a lot of people who make comments, it puzzles me. It's like, what's the alternative then? Smoke crack? Go back to this being with a lot of girls? Smoke some weed? That's a better alternative than figuring out who you are as a person? If you say you're black and you think you're from Africa, where are you from in Africa? The fact that you can't, the fact that 99.9% of Negroes cannot answer that question who think they're from Africa, is that not a problem? In the Bible is a genealogy book. Traces back bloodlines. The power is in the bloodline and keeping track of your bloodline and not losing that knowledge. And that knowledge goes all the way back to Anu and the Anunnaki. So until somebody can give me a better explanation or more knowledge than Dr. Malachi Z. York, I find everybody's complaints futile at best, feeble and weak, until you come up with a better alternative than what Dr. Malachi Z. York put forth on this planet. Are there other planets? Are we going to question now, are there other planets? Sure, there's 8 others in this solar system, and now they're finding more planets, like around Gliese 36, with planets in an inhabitable zone that can support life. So are we saying that's false too? All the scientists are false? See, once you break it down to a science, it makes sense. I think this brother just followed without doing any real knowledge, any real fact checking. Because Pop said, don't believe me, check it out. Do your own research. He always encouraged people to do their own research. Because even Noble Drew Ali said, man does not learn from being told. And that means that if I tell you something and I say that it's true, you don't know that it's true. You didn't do the research that I did when I told you it was true and I found out. You know what I'm saying? So all Dr. Malachi Z. York can do for you is point you in the right direction and tell you the things to read and check and fact check what he's saying. Now, I know there's some brothers who's on the land that didn't like you, like disagreeing with Dr. Malachi Z. York. And I know that's true. But again, these brothers were not living Nuwaubu, because you don't sit up there and argue, you know, with fools. If they don't, you know, if they don't like what you're saying, you know, you should speak your mind anyway. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on. You know, let's get through this video.
Out of their fucking money. Y'all niggas may look at it as being disrespectful.
No,
but how?
I don't.
How am I trying to bash somebody that has bashed me? You know how many motherfucking names this nigga has gone under? This nigga fucking claim he's a fucking a Native American, a Muslim.
Well, he is a Native American. His mother was Mary C. York, who was Yamasi. So, I mean, not that he claims he's a Native American, he's proven he's a Native American. So again, you know, it is what it is.
A Christian, a Moor.
Well, you're a Moor by race, right? So you're a Moor. You know what I'm saying? You're a Moor, brother. Who do you think you are? A Negro? Are you a colored person? Maybe he wants to be a colored person, or you know, I don't want to say the N-word, but I guess a nigga. You know, he wants to be a nigga. Maybe he wants to be a nigga. I don't know. But a Moor is something that's verifiable in history. You know, with the treaty of peace and friendship that the MST always talks about, and brothers in the Moorish American movement. It's true. We are Moors, not just because of the treaty, but because of our race. That's the proper title for our race, not Negroes. See, that's the white guy stuff. You know, when they came over here, when Columbus came over here, he said, "Oh, look, the Morenos are here." It means Moor. It means the Taino and the Carib, indigenous people. Yes, they were Morenos. They were Moors. And that's just what it is, man. So you have to know what you're talking about before you complain about it.
Every fucking thing. This nigga said he was born in Ghana, Liberia. He from Liberia. Like, it's like some new shit.
But the birth certificate said he was born in Massachusetts. So I don't know if Dr. Malachi Z. York came up with he was born in Ghana or Nigeria or Liberia or, you know, something like that. But I know I looked at his birth certificate and it said he was born in Massachusetts. So I don't think there's any debate about that. That's hard proof. He was born in Massachusetts. And you can look at his mom's name on the birth certificate. I mean, he's already put it out there. I think other people are saying, like the brothers in New York, they're saying he's born in Liberia. You know, all the falsehoods and lies that they keep telling to keep people's hopes up that Dr. Malachi Z. York is going to get out. I seen a video, I think it's... is it NWPW Nuwaubian YouTube channel, and in 2015 they said, oh, he definitely coming home in 2016. Definitely, he's definitely coming home. And see, that's just to keep people going, keep the hope going, and so they could sell more books of the Pa Tarak, which is, to me, that's not right knowledge. That's not right knowledge. Pa Tarak, that's not right knowledge, but you know, that's just my opinion, though. But let's keep going.
Every fucking week. Did you ever ask the question how the people that were victims of his hideous crime, did you ever ask, were they okay? No. What you did is you tore them the fuck down.
Well, you got to respect people's testimony. You got to respect people's testimony, especially in the court of law. So, potential victims should not be torn down by Nuwaubians. They should not be torn down by Nuwaubians. That's not right. That's not right knowledge. Because if you were a victim of a crime, the brothers who are talking about, you know, the girls who made these claims, if you were a victim of the crime, you would want somebody to take you seriously. You know what I'm saying? You would want somebody to take you seriously. So I agree with them that, you know, if someone is a victim of a crime, that you do take them seriously when they make a claim and they testify in court. People don't understand testimony. When somebody testifies against you, that's huge, man. That's why the mob bosses, when people try to testify against mob bosses, they smoking them. Because that's how big testimony is in court. Your words hold weight in court. Weight. Ask Bill Cosby and the women who testified against him. Those words hold weight in any courtroom on the planet. If somebody accuses you and they got proof, it's hard to break that one. Hard to break that one. But the case was kind of wishy-washy with how the judge tried to lock down the transcripts and all that. So who knows, man? I wasn't there. I'm not saying yay or nay. But I will say for victims, potential victims, alleged victims, that they should be taken seriously.
You had so many kids that testified, but you believe that one fucking man, knowing that he did not write those fucking books, knowing that he has lied so many motherfucking times. First he said Jesus ain't real. Then he said Jesus is real. Which one?
Well, there's 3 different Jesuses, right? There's the Jesus that Paul talked about. There's Simon Bar Jesus. There's the Jesus that's justus, or just us, in Corinthians 11:4. And then you have the real Messiah, who, yes, actually did live, right? He did live. His name was not Jesus Christ, but there was a man that did live. So which Jesus are you talking about?
He talked about Dr. Ben and Dr. Henry Clark saying that they were fucking devils.
Well, see, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I love Dr. John Henry Clark, even though he thought he was a Pan-Africanist, just like the brother Umar Johnson, Pan-African. What is that? I don't even know what that means. And they don't have any heritage in Africa. So, again, this whole all black people from Africa is ridiculous. There's no proof behind it. And Dr. Ben, I love Dr. Ben personally. I got a couple of his books here. I still need to get more of his books. Dr. Ben was a true scholar and a Moorish scholar for this brother here. He went to a Moorish school in Spain to study the Moors, which are us. So I know we got a lot of growing to do, a lot of research to do, but if you spend 20 years with Dr. York, man, you should know a lot. You should be ready to go out and start your own organization and run it how you want to run it. You know what I'm saying? 20 years around. I would have loved to have 20 years around Dr. York, man. I would have learned so much. So many questions to ask. So many questions to ask that no other human being on the planet can answer. And I'll take that to the grave with me. No other human being can answer. No other human being can answer. I guarantee it. Now let's keep going.
He's talked about Louis Farrakhan. Shitted on him.
Louis Farrakhan shitted on Dr. York. But toward the later years, they was actually cool with each other. And Khalid Muhammad. Khalid Muhammad talked about Dr. Malachi Z. York after Dr. Malachi Z. York apologized to the Nation of Islam, because Dr. Malachi Z. York does love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? So we're looking at just the negative glass, right? Because he's upset with Dr. Malachi Z. York, but these things, it's kind of like the news media. The news media wants to paint a picture of, let's say, like Donald Trump or somebody, or Obama. They want to paint a negative picture of some of these people, when that's the news station's point of view on a candidate, who they like or dislike, and that will dictate the story that comes out. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like a person, you're gonna find everything negative about them to say it. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of the stuff he's saying is true. I feel like it's true. About he's not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He gave money to the lawyers and Dr. Malachi Z. York's mother. I know. It is what it is, man. We've all taken our bumps and bruises in life, man.
But you all think that he's this holy art thou motherfucker. There were people on the land that were starving, right? Niggas would be on the land begging for money because they were sleeping in barns and shit like that, and they didn't have no fucking money. You know that? No, you didn't know, right? So y'all niggas is full of shit.
If that happened,
I have my own experiences.
Right, that's messed up.
My own experiences. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the studio. I made a fucking song. Hold on to the rope. Use my own fucking music, money. Made flyers and shit.
That's what you got
to help free his ass.
Oh, wow.
And you know what the fucking Nuwaubians did? They said, who are you? Who do you think you are to make a song and write a book? Fuck out of here, man. I'm not dealing with that shit no more. And you know what's so fucking painful about the shit that I've been through? I mean, there's so much that I can fucking sit back and say. But the most painful thing is this. I remember one time I was trying to get assistance with my light bill. And you know it was a Nuwaubian sister waiting in line with me? This is when I been had left the fucking organization. She was in line waiting with me. Had on her garments and everything. And she sat down and talked to me, and she was like, yeah, you know, because I'm trying to make this money and do this. And she introduced me to all her children. And she was like, yeah, I need help with my fucking lights and my rent. And she was in a bookstore. The kids won't be remembered that have been molested by Dr. Malachi Z. York. I won't be remembered in history. The female that I met, she won't be remembered. Nobody will be remembered
in history
like he will. You see, you all have made him into a martyr. Regardless of whether he dies in jail or not, in the years to come, he will be a Messiah type motherfucker.
Of course, he had the most knowledge.
Anything that I've learned from this current situation is that I have seen the birth of a modernized religion. That Nuwaubu is a religion.
No, it's not a religion.
And the Nuwaubians will make sure that he will be remembered. You see, somebody like me that worshiped him, I am left with nothing.
See, you're not supposed to worship Dr. Malachi Z. York. That's, you don't worship. He never said to worship him. Never. I don't know who that is, but never supposed to worship Dr. Malachi Z. York. Never. And he even spoke about that. Never. You're never supposed to worship Dr. Malachi Z. York. Never. So that's a mistake, man. That's a mistake.
So now, I start from the beginning again, trying to find myself.
Hey, you know what? That's a strong video, man. I have to give it to him. But me, I've never looked at Dr. York like he was some type of genie that could walk through walls, and I've never looked at him like that. When I looked at him, I just seen a man with like superior knowledge. That's what really captivated me about him. And he would just go out and just answer everybody's questions, man. I've never seen Louis Farrakhan, have somebody come up to him and just ask him a question, like an authentic question that somebody had that had problems understanding something, so they could just come out and talk to him. I didn't see that. I didn't see that with a lot of leaders, man. You couldn't just come up to him and ask him a question. Dr. Malachi Z. York, you could do that when he was around. You could do that, man. He was there to answer your questions. Now, was he 100% accurate on everything he ever said? I would say no. No. Especially his opinion about music. He said hip-hop wasn't music. I disagree. I say hip-hop is music. He said jazz was garbage. I love jazz. I love Coltrane. I love Bird. I love Miles Davis. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of jazz artists. To me, that's music. To pick up an instrument, go through a live jam session, and just improvise chords and melodies and themes and syncopation and all that stuff, man. That's something I disagree with. But the man had right knowledge and right reasoning. And to say that he has control over everybody in the organization, that's false. The president of the United States doesn't even have control over everybody in this organization. So how is Dr. Malachi Z. York supposed to have control of everybody and know everything that's going on? Yes, you were under some type of spell. Because I don't even agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm going to conclude the video. It's been going on too long. Just wanted to speak my piece about it, but I hope this brother's able to find his way, and he should have enough knowledge to start his own organization if he was around Dr. Malachi Z. York for 20 years. All right, so I'm gonna end this video, and hopefully I see y'all soon. Wadu, till the next time.